Hey, let's take a look at this comic book called Talent Showcase. For some reason, it's called New Talent Showcased in my CLZ app. All right, so the reason I bought this right off the bat was there was a issue back in the 70s called, or there was a series about 12, 13 issues called First something, DC First. One of the Starman, the second Starman in the DC history, I'm pretty sure, this guy looks just like him. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like a continuation of that story. So the end of Collapsar by Ashley Tillman. This character's name is Collapsar because I guess Starman was taken. During the time that this was written, June 1985, I don't think, well, okay, maybe Justice All-Star Comics, or not All-Star Comics, All-Star Squadron had him at the time. It's hard to remember that far back. But this was about, the title is, of course, June 1985, which means it was 3 months prior to that when this was published. There are 3 stories in this. I'm going to tell you right now, they are all very repetitive, but they're different people. So it's not like they got together and let's write a story about changing conflict, whatever, you know. The first one is The Death of Me Yet. So right away, he's like, down, sir, get down. And he's like, what? In this story, it's a double thing. So if you're wanting to read this, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I kind of almost saw it coming while he was getting toward the end. At first, this guy comes out of nowhere in this guy's den. He's just sitting there, minding his own business, reading his newspaper, and this guy comes in, get down, sir. And it's like, you know, there's a lot of talking going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because the story has to be pushed into a very small space. So there's a lot more. The story that they would have, you know, elaborated on had to be compressed. So there's evidently spies trying to kill him, and the guy just comes out of nowhere and tries to save him. He fights back. I don't know how a grenade got rid of all of them. I know he says we got to push back or whatever to discourage them. And then he's pretty much building up a bond with this guy, telling him, look, I'm part of the leader. It's the Law Enforcement and Defensive Espionage Reserve. So this is a group that's trying to protect this man because he found out a lot of information about a secret sect which uses modern weapons in subversive operations against the major world powers. And that group is called the Slaves of Scimitar. Slaves of Scimitar. So he's trying to tell him he's trying to protect him because he's got that information. He's like, well, they're not going to get it. I got it in a very, very good place. And this woman comes around the corner, and this is his daughter, the guy who writes the book's daughter. So, you know, right there, we're immediately led to believe, oh, she's just there as a background character. And then he's holding up a hat to get the attention of people that are out there. And what does it say about USA? Her initials are USA. Oh, okay. Sorry, I already have a wife, and that's USA. That's just a pun you put in there, joke. Now about the book, sir. So he's trying to get him to tell him about the book because that book's got information which actually could reveal these secret society. So, you know, he's going about the place. He's taking him out. You know, they're being attacked while in the house from outside the house. So what's the most logical thing to do? Go outside the house, which make no sense to me whatsoever in this part of the book. These guys come down and like, well, it looks like parachutes, but evidently they're balloons. And he does make a little play on words there, balloonatics. So he attacks the balloons that are flying around, pops them. And he's still going. He's like, sir, take a Hawkins, his maid, or whatever you want to call the guy. Do something about these bodies, will you? And they're just driving off on the go-kart while there's people coming after them. So at his water fountain, he reveals this secret place. It's like, a water fountain? Isn't that awfully heavy? Whatever. It's remarkable. Millions of modern... And anyway, he's showing him all these little gadgets here and there. It's a lot of stuff crammed into this. The bottom line is we finally get down to where he's keeping the book. So they're going to take the book and go somewhere safe with it, like to the government. When he takes it out, he shows that he's actually one of them. And when he shoots it, he's like, farewell, sir. Our collaboration is over. The arrow points in the air. Now, the reason this happens, and I guess I should have told you this, is because back here we find out that he has all these little booby traps along the way. Like one of them was a magnetic picture frame, and he can control the intensity of the magnetism. So in case they may come down the walkway with a gun, the gun will be pulled out of their way. This situation, obviously the metal-tipped arrow gets reversed because the daughter, wow, a girl, how could she know anything about this kind of stuff? But she reveals that he's actually one of those guys too. It's like, Tina, you're a spy. Of course not. She's part of the leader. He's not part of the leader. But she's not a spy. I'm an intelligence agent. And all I had to do was guard you and, if possible, find your notes. Tear gas, cyanide capsules, flamethrower. Well, you come through beautifully, dear, and I'm glad you've learned the value of a career. So he was teasing her earlier about she either needs a career or a husband. That's why whenever he's, taking the hint. I sure have, Dad. You better duck. What the? This is the twist. This is the fun twist. It's not that she's the double agent, but the very end is like, but the information in the right hands, it could have ended the slaves of scimitar. Right. And we couldn't have let that happen now, could we? But why not? The only reason your group exists is to fight. It's to fight. The only reason. You get the idea now, don't you, Dad? You see, everyone at Leader knows the value of a good career. Oh, that is like government in a nutshell. They're not interested in ending sickness. That's why we have pills and more pills and more pills. We're not interested in finding a cure for this or a cure for that or the end of war. No, because that would put the government out of business. If the government found a way to make peace on earth, well, then what would they need all this, this war regime we have? So yeah, this is very good right here. I like this story a lot. The next story, it just had a lot of loopholes in it. This one was written by, and I'm sure they'll agree with it too, Alan Rollins. So these people may be popular now. I don't know. I've never heard of any of these people. I've been trying to, like, the artist looks very good. I was like, who is this artist? Ron Wagner. I'm not sure of him either. So I don't know if it's the artist's first time. I think it's just the writer's first time. This one's a little bit weirder where he goes to a convent place where rich people pretty much want to give up all their wealth just so they can live their last days as a child. It's really strange. It's some kind of religious convention. He's trying to get there because he was called by somebody. It's just a lot of... It feels like it was really crammed, really rushed, and a lot of loopholes. The art's good, though. Then we got this middle thing, and it was confusing at first. It's like Rosie, but over here her name is Vapor Carolyn. Wait a minute. And I started realizing maybe this is their real names. Carolyn. Her superhero name is Rosie. I don't know how Rosie has to do with yellow. I don't get that. Mark is Vapor. And Tex, which is actually a cooler name than the kid. I don't know. It's the Desperados pin up by Dennis Yee. It may have been from a previous story because this is all we got. There's nothing in here about this. There's nothing. It just continues on with the story, and again, this is like a lot of confusion. I could follow it fine. It's just there's too many coincidences. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it just happens to be here this time, and it just happens to be there, and they just happen to know this, and they just have. You know what I'm saying? It just, unless he's omniscient, there's no way he can get this much information across. And at the end, he goes and he rescues somebody who, don't worry about that one. Don't even bother reading it. I mean, seriously. But this last story, this is the one I was really looking forward to. And it was kind of a letdown, to be honest with you. It was basically the queen or the princess got sent out on this planet about this alien. This alien reveals the other guys are trying to kill him. Then the other guys turn on her. It's very confusing back and forth. Like, it's almost like they want us to know the background, but they're assuming too much in one story. This seems like this would have been something that they could have built. I know this is a one-shot deal for them, but man, this is a really cool looking character right there. Though, doesn't he look like one of the guys from that reboot? Definitely looks like Reboot's face, whatever his name is. But yeah, basically his powers are he evidently came from Earth because he mentions Earth somewhere, and he basically took the power of a black hole and got superpowers or something. Like, I don't know. But he's got those gauntlets on, which reminds me of Starman. He's so Starman. This is like Starman right here. And then Yeah, so is Collapse Star or is it Starman's name from that book? Because I need to go back and reread that. And he had blue skin, didn't he? I just feel like this was supposed to be a Starman reboot attempt or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was meh. I mean, it was okay. I feel like, again, this would have been too much for a first issue. If this was like a 5 or 6 issue series, they could have really expanded on this and made this like, this would have been like the betrayal, like number 3. And then, you know, it just feels like there's too many characters that we're supposed to know too much about. And there's not enough time to get to actually feel any compassion for any of them. I don't love, hate any of these people. I mean, when I read a story, I want to feel like I'm part of it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like it. The only one I feel really compelled about is the first one. And maybe it's because it was the first one. And by the time I was done with the second one, I was like, and the third one, and I was like, I'm done. Plus, I was outside enjoying some sunlight after 64 hours of rain continuously. So nice to see the sun again. I went out there and sat outside, even though there's probably bugs crawling all over my legs, and just enjoyed some sunlight. Yeah, it was beautiful today, finally. Around 10 o'clock, that sun came out. It was so nice. But, yeah, and then I actually read this, too. I was just like, all right, so Mark Singer of V. I love that. I was like, yes. So they got information about maybe having a movie or something. And now some scenes from our next issue, 18. So we got some kind of fox dude, some kind of ninja girl with her breast sticking out, which probably is going to be a selling point for a lot of you guys out there. And some alien looks like Dr. Evil from Captain... Oh, what is it called? Captain Action. It looks like Captain Action's Dr. Evil in a way. Oh, man. Now I want to go play with my Captain Action figures. All right, so what did you guys think of this particular book if you've read it before? And let me know how to do this whole review thing, because nobody ever watches my reviews, and it's probably because they watched it and thought it was boring, and I'm like, I want to grow. Let me know what to do to make it better. I can tell you like what I think of the art, but you could see for yourself what the art looks like. Like this is passable. It's a C. The second one is more like a B, to be honest with you. This one had much better art. I think that's a B. The last one, I would give it a C, to be honest with you. I mean, okay, there's like this. This looks very Pat Broderick looking right there. That looks very much like I'm expecting Faroy to be here and these two going out and saying, by Dallin and Cispas, you know. This page right here felt very Pat Broderick level. I mean, very good. But it wasn't consistent. And so... I mean, I'd give it a B, I guess. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, it's just, sometimes it's like great, sometimes it's like, But yeah, that's good. Who is the artist, by the way? If you actually know who this artist is, maybe they were already famous, or maybe they are famous. The artist is Stan Wooch. Colorist is Adam Phillips. And writer is Ashley Tillman. Yeah. All right, so, that's what I think of the art, the stories. First one was great. The second one was just too predictably, or no, just too unbelievable. Let me put it that way. The third one, I feel like they could have made a 6-issue series out of that, and it would have been much better. The cover art, that's what I bought it for. I'm like, I don't buy things just for the cover art. I want to read them, and if the cover makes me want to read it, that's why I like it. This cover is like, man, I want to read this. I wish the whole book was this, though. I feel like we could have done so much more with this character, but now he's just a forgotten member. And I forgot, I was going to look him up on Comic Vine to see if there's any connection between him and Starman, because I just feel like there is. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. And man, this is a long video. I was trying to cram 3 stories into one video, I guess. I could have made 3 videos out of this one. All right, have a great day. Thanks.